Welcome to Socially Acceptable, the show that humanizes influence the LA way. I'm Miss Corrie Renee.
And I am SB Preston again. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you to our proud sponsors.
Oh, who are they?
That Fresh Crew.
Okay.
Stussy. King Vision.
Oh.
Shoe Pugs.
Okay.
Happy Dads.
That part.
Califino.
Oh.
And we still got the bag, so you can just throw it on in. And
whatever you feel like.
Right.
We are accepting. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen.
Proudly. Proudly.
That part.
So we got an amazing plethora of things we're gonna go over, but let's start with our emojis.
Okay.
Okay.
I see you.
I know.
Press trying to be all real professional right now because our guests are we're flabbergasted right now, but we gotta go through the show and act like we know, right?
1,000%.
You said our emojis, right?
Yes.
So my emoji is the WTF emoji, the one that has the big eyes, cause I just am like WTF right now.
Yes.
Like, what's happening in this room? I can't really explain it. It's like a plethora of emotion. But what I do know is that we're right on time. So I'm really, really, really excited. What's your emoji?
Mine is going to be the face with the smoke around it.
Oh.
Even though we've been having adversity in our lives, I feel like we on fire.
Oh,
and when there's smoke, there's fire.
Come on.
So for sure, we're just going to, keep on being persistent, consistent, and persevering through all the stuff.
Absolutely.
It's got us this far, so we're going to keep on going.
That part.
So.
You want to do it? You want me to do it?
Let's do it together.
So we have super special guests here today, okay? None other than producer, rapper, extraordinaire. I mean, the list goes on and on. But not only that, he brought some special guests with him today.
1,000%.
Okay, we got the inside on the exclusive.
That's right. That's right.
Y'all the first to hear about these brothers right here. These brothers, but these real brothers right here. Okay? So one time, let's give it up for Akon and SHEESH!
You guys might have done this a few times before.
Yeah. We're working on it. This is purpose. This is living in purpose. And it takes one to know one. You guys definitely been living in your purpose. Definitely been persevering through tough times and everything. So without further ado, the X factor of this episode is the power of building dreams.
Yes.
Right? So with that being said, I guess you want to start the question because I got a pretty loaded one.
Loaded.
Okay, cool. This question is going to be for all three of you guys. Y'all have had y'all negativity that you had to persevere over, but that was the basis where the dream actually started for you.
Yeah.
What was the moment in you guys' life that you said, regardless on the nose, I'm still going to go with what I want to do?
Who you want to start with?
Let's start with Con.
All right. I would probably say, with me, it was about turning points. And the turning point of my life was getting locked up. That's when I realized, okay, I can sit in this box for the rest of my life, or I can go out there and entertain the gift that God gave me. You know what I mean? Like, most oftentimes you go in there, I mean, of course, you're in jail, so you learn to be a better criminal. I was like, hell no, this is not it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when I realized, okay, I'm tripping. Like, I gotta, So I promised to God I won't steal another piece of bubble gum. And I started my company, fixed my vision, created a whole 10-year plan of where I wanted to be, and I've been executed ever since.
Wow.
And it's growing on it, yeah.
And you guys' upbringing is pretty similar as far as we were saying, as far as incarceration, but y'all's story is very impactful. The fact that you guys were able to thug it out together.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that as well?
Yeah. I mean, it's really the same. That was our same turning point. You know what I mean? Us being 16 and 15, being locked up together, you know what I mean? Going through that traumatic experience. I think it's that experience and also breaking our mama's heart. Like, seeing my mama cry, I gotta sell plates for money, you know what I mean, commissary, and just the whole struggle, you know what I mean, selling our clothes to make, it's deep. It's a deep, thing, but that I think, for me, and I'm pretty sure for my brother too, I know it is, like, it's like breaking her heart on top of going through what we was going through ourselves, you know what I mean? That was our turning point, for sure.
1,000%.
I feel like with everything that you guys have all been through, dealing with like the parameters of not having the resources, specifically you guys coming from a musical background and your family already having that lineage and legacy within themselves carrying on into you, how are you guys able to grow that, creativity with such limited resources?
I mean, you just gotta work with what you got. You know what I'm saying? It's just trial and error. Know you gonna fail, but that's the best part about it. You know what I'm saying? Seeing what you made of, and you know what I'm saying. When I was in a joint, the fact that thinking that the dream might not work is what fueled me, because they trying to take it away from me is how I saw it. Like, you know what I'm saying? I got all this time to do. They think I can't do it still. You know what I'm saying? And every day I'm showing them. I'm gonna show them. I'm gonna make something out of this. You know what I'm saying? And you got to work with what you got.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you guys' dream was more impacted because you guys had each other?
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Go ahead.
No, I'm agreeing with it. Yeah, like, it's like I was the reason that we even, me being the older brother, that we even got in trouble, because I was leading the way. You know what I mean? So I just felt more of a responsibility. Like, if I can lead the way into some BS, making dumb decisions, I can lead the way into making our life better. You get what I mean? Making positive decisions and making the way for our family and stuff like that. Like, if I can lead the way doing something wrong, I can lead the way doing something right. And it's kind of like what our big bro was saying. Like, I just vowed to, like, not be on, you know what I mean? To just level up and stay focused and determined. You know what I mean?
Right.
1,000%.
When it comes to growth as Akon, being yourself, why did you find it so important to pay it forward and give back into other talented individuals like these brothers?
Well, I honestly believe that God gave me a second chance. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's the weirdest thing, because even before I got locked up, I was successful in the bullshit. You know what I mean? It took my bunkie, the older, unfortunately he was going into death row. He made some decisions that was more, passionate, because he walked in and found his wife cheating on somebody, and he ended up killing them both. So he was on his way to death row, but he was an older guy, like 67, 68. And he was like, young blood, man, listen, man, I'm watching you with all this impact and all this, how they watching, like, because that's what I wrote Locked Up while I was in there. And we would sing it out loud when the COs would walk by. I'm locked up, they won't let me out, bitch. That part wasn't in the song, but that was the original record. You know what I'm saying? That was actually the original lyrics. Right? So we would sing it out loud, and it was the craziest thing, because the pod was singing out loud every time a CO walked past. And my bunkie, he was like, man, look at this, man. Look how much you impact these people. Maybe you put all your energy into your music as you did into the streets. There's no way you can not be successful. And it was around that time when I said, okay, I'm gonna start my company. We started creating Konvict Music. We got it incorporated, created LLCs, and created this plan. But it was like that timeline in between the when you're on that borderline, this with 1 foot in, 1 foot out, and you got to decide which side to put the other foot in. It was clear as day for me.
Wow.
You know what I mean? It was like clear as day. Like, he's right. So the philanthropic aspect came from me with that promise to God that I'm gonna make something of myself that's gonna create an impact. Like, I know you're saving me for the purpose of me doing something bigger than something for myself.
Right.
If that makes sense.
That's fair.
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
What lessons have you taught SHEESH that you
we
know
talk
now?
all the time, because we actually got closer because of their family dynamic. Like, I realized how much just family itself meant to them. And then after meeting his family, I realized how much his family depended on them. So it was like, they also realized their responsibility. You know what I mean? So we shared not only the story in so many ways that we kind of can relate, but we also share the responsibility now, just on a different level. Their level gonna be probably bigger than mine. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
In the future.
Hey, that's saying something.
Clip that.
For real, that's saying
Save
something.
it. Mark it for later.
Man, please do.
1,000%. I mean,
Please
shoot.
do.
That's real, power of the tongue, man.
Yeah,
So you
yeah.
just, speak into existence.
How does that make you guys feel to hear that?
Blessed. Blessed, humble, grateful, appreciative. We tell them that all the time, though. Randomly. He could be like, hey, what y'all want to eat? Thank you, bro. You know what I mean? It ain't even about the food. Just like, man, thank you for, you know what I mean? Just supporting us and putting us in a better position in life and giving us the opportunity. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot of talented people out there.
Right.
It's 1,001 rappers on Slauson.
Same for podcasts.
Yes.
But it's just like everywhere. You know what I mean? But it's just like, you know, we definitely grateful, and we know we don't take our situation for granted.
I love that.
Now, when you have somebody who definitely is not only showing you what it is to be a professional around you, but there's key things that we bring in ourselves that we pass on to each other. Can you talk about something that you either learned from your brother or your brother taught you?
Yeah. I mean, he taught me what bars were, like how to break them down in claps, similes, metaphors, double entendres, schemes, colors. How to record myself.
Basically, how to rap.
Okay, so he put it together.
Because I definitely know that, you know, the transition from
He's
Chicago.
the yin to my yang, too.
Absolutely.
I get it.
But you won't see us at SeaWorld, you know.
Because we'll shut it down.
Yeah, for real. But like, you guys did make a transition as far as moving from Chicago to Indiana. How did that change your dream, or either help mold it more?
Because that was a small town.
Yeah,
that was like
Elkhart. Yeah, Elkhart only 50,000. You want to go
right? I mean, we got the rest of our family is in Chicago. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, we always went back. You know, always kept communication with our family, and a lot of them, a little bunch of them came from Chicago with us too. So it was all. It's like, you know, we family from up over there that came up over here, and you know, I was raised in Elkhart. You know, I got a mixture of both in me.
I mean, the transition was like, everything he said is facts, but like, the reason we even moved to Elkhart was for my mom to escape everything that we was going through, like the poverty. Me and my brother seen 2 murders before we was 7. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, you know what I mean? Like 2 different times. You know, it wasn't that we were supposed to see him. It was just the environment we was in on the west side. So my mom, she was just like, nah, like I want better for my children. And we moved to Elkhart. That's like an hour and a half away. We love Elkhart. We rep Elkhart. Our roots still in Chicago. But unfortunately, even though our mom raised us completely right, like did everything right, sacrificed, did everything a real mom was supposed to do, we still made poor decisions. You get what I mean?
That hurts my heart.
You're speaking to a proud parent over here.
Just triggered me.
Yep. Go ahead, take a little sip and sip on that
real.
one.
And it be like that sometimes. It don't be
Super
the
producer,
parents.
make sure we got the Kleenex on deck.
It don't be the parents sometimes.
It's men. Boys growing up to be men.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
You know?
That's a real fact.
So y'all
it's a
just
jungle
gonna
out
do what
there.
y'all do regardless of how much we try
100%.
to steer
It's
you,
nothing-
let you know it's
nothing
not
mom
fair.
can do.
Yeah.
Because in order for a boy to become a man, he has to challenge himself.
Yeah.
And he's going to challenge himself and compete with other men. Because that's how you decide whether I'm an alpha or an alpha.
1,000%. It's only one or
You're
one.
an alpha or an alpha. You one of the two.
Yeah. Nah, that's for real.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
And you don't want to be the alpha.
But ultimately though, I feel like he said, like Big Bro said, like I feel like it was a blessing though, because we became men through that situation. You know what I mean?
Right.
We honed our skills through that situation. Like I can't say 100% without that situation I'll be the same person or he'll be the same person that we are now. You know what I mean? So because we learned so much and we had to bear so much. But it kind of like it was a blessing for real. Like I wouldn't change that. You know what I mean? At all. You know, except you want to say like you wouldn't want your mom to hurt, because I definitely wouldn't want that, but like we needed that at the end of the day. I could just flat out say it, you know what I mean? Like especially me.
But nothing great comes without sacrifice. Too.
Yeah.
And we all grew in that situation. You know, my mom's too. You know, so
Yeah.
because we close as hell.
Yeah.
So everybody grew from that situation.
That's real. Bro.
Cousins, everybody. It was real like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah.
That's some perspective.
That's
Right
some
there.
Everybody grew.
perspective.
That's real.
Yeah, so just don't worry about it.
I knew you was coming back for me.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
If you survive through it, you got a real son.
Hey,
Thank you.
listen to the man. He's
Okay.
keeping
I
it G.
promise you, you gotta let him go through that part. Otherwise, you think you hurt now,
Yeah.
Don't get older and that man can't protect you.
Yeah.
Right.
Or don't know what responsibility is or understand the role that he plays as a protector for you. He gotta go through that part.
Noted.
He gonna be alright for sure.
Kicking that knowledge, telling you.
I see.
Con,
see.
it's
the
time for
first
you
time
to-
I had no words.
Yeah.
It's time for you to go ahead and just let her breathe.
Okay.
But right now, you and I, my brother, we're gonna keep it
You
peak.
got a daughter or
A son.
A son?
15-year-old son.
Oh yeah,
Started
that's
high
the
school.
age, too.
It's
That's
right
the
there.
age.
And he's taller than me. And
yeah.
I'm over here like, oh, you
can't
think you
tell him.
talking to me
You
crazy?
can't whip him no more.
You gotta look up.
You can't
Like-
whip him no more. Like you can't.
It's
You can't whip him at that point. You got to. That's where you got to. That's the hardest part for the man, for the mother, especially.
yeah. It's
Because
very
my mom
rough.
was so worried about me, man. Like we had a great upbringing. Like we lived in residential areas, but when like my mom looked for me, she know where to find me. She goes straight to the projects.
Right.
I don't know what it was about poor neighborhoods that just made me feel comfortable. It was just funner. It was freer.
Yeah.
It felt like there was so much room to grow. It's hard to explain it.
Yeah.
It must be because my son is that way.
Right.
He gravitates to what's completely opposite of him.
Yes,
He
he
knows
wanted the
how to
challenge.
complete assistance. He does go to church. He's in the choir. Like I gave him all of the resources to go the opposite direction.
But he has all that. That's what's gonna save him. Everything that you put into him, when he in that environment, my eyes is getting watered because that's what happened to me. Like because I was raised so well, like I didn't take no peer pressure from none of them niggas. Okay, if it was a challenge, I had to step up to that challenge because I lived in the suburbs and they expected me not to. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
it was time to squabble, I had to win no matter what, by any means. It was that, right?
Yeah.
But I knew where my senses was. I knew exactly when to say no because I knew that shit wasn't going to go. And I knew I wasn't going to survive it if I tried to impress them. I had to save me first. But that's the lessons that took me there. Most people ain't never got them lessons, and they'll jump out the window and they'll just fall.
Yeah.
Hit the concrete, flat-faced it.
If you could tell my son in the camera right there, because he don't like to listen to me. If you could tell him anything, what advice would you give to him going into high school in this fall season?
Listen, clearly you're your own man. You're going to always make your own decisions. But the reason why God put elders in front of us is because they see things that you will not see. There's an old African proverb, and I even tell my boys this. You know, my grandpa told me, he said, listen, a kid can have his eyes wide open and see nothing, but the elder can close his eyes and see everything. And what he means by that is that there's nothing that you're going through in life that your mom hasn't went through, your dad hasn't went through.
Come on.
So when they're sitting there giving you advice, it's only because they see things that you may not quite see. So even if you got your own mind made up, just listen to it and apply that when that time comes. Because as a man, you're going to get, naturally, you're going to get challenged. That's the point. You're going to go through the whole process and going through it like a man. Don't be afraid ever, because if you put God first, you're going to always come out in a good way. He's never going to put more on you than you can handle.
Hallelujah.
Right? But at the end of the day, your mom is your blessing, and that's promised you. No, but it's real. I'm not just saying that because, listen, the reason why I'm so successful, and just watch, and this is not even a secret. Look at like 95% of successful people got a great relationship with their mom.
Yeah.
Just pay attention to that one day. Just watch. The man will tell you, when your mom is happy about you, God runs blessings through you like none other, bro. I promise, just pay attention. Most successful people ask me, what's your relationship with your mom? I guarantee you, they're gonna be like, man, I love my mom. I will do everything for my mom. You know what I'm saying? But of course, at that age, you think you know it all, which you don't, but you're supposed to think you know it, because you thinking you know it is how you find out. And then once you find out, you got to be disciplined enough to know, okay, what I thought I knew, I didn't know.
Yeah.
But utilize that mind. I promise you, everything she teach you, man, take it with you. It's going to help you one day. But don't think that you know it all, because you really don't.
You still learning.
Thank you.
You know?
Love you, Chase.
Thank you.
That's real.
Every time you get on my nerves, I'm going to run this clip back for you.
For real.
That's real.
No, as you should. As you should. For real. C4.
Let's keep
Pick that
it
up.
P, okay?
Now, Con, I need you to keep it P with me.
What's going on?
I'm going to give you a choice between pleasure, passion, and pain.
Right.
We're going to have an amazing artistry here for you to
Okay,
express
that's
what it
you're
meant to
setting
you.
up. Okay.
I
Saw the folders.
So you have one choice
We got
between
something for
pleasure,
you.
passion, or pain.
Right.
What would it be, brother?
It'll be pleasure.
Pleasure? Okay.
Absolutely.
Boom. Now, I mean, you've been all over the world doing your thing and everything. Can you tell us how much of a pleasure it really is to really be connected.
That right there.
Yeah, I see it more than anything on your shows. They can't keep me away from the audience. Like, because I love my audience and my fans so much. There's no way you can keep me from the audience. I promise you. This was me 10 years ago. I had to switch it up because every time I jumped into the audience, somebody somehow got hurt or sued me for some money. So I had to find somebody else. That's why I want another pleasure in that. I had to find a smarter way to do it. That's why I got that absorb ball now where I go into the crowd. Where you're just... Yeah, so now it's safe. I'm still out there in the audience with them. But yeah, that's just me showing my appreciation. And every show, they kind of was waiting for me to do it. So I would go from the back of stage or the top of the speaker and just jump out there, man, and just enjoy the whole audience with them. Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely pleasure, for sure. And passion, too, by the way. Yeah.
How important is it for you to stay connected to your fans? Like, do you ever read emails? Do you go through the comments, do the DM thing?
No, I don't read comments.
Okay.
I don't read no comments ever. Because honestly, I never got caught up in what other people think. Like, people are supposed to think. And everyone's going to always have their own perspective. So what happens is oftentimes we go in them comments and then we get bothered by someone else's perspective, which they're entitled to have. Right? So you can't change somebody's mind. You can influence somebody, but you can't change. It's like what you're going through with your son. His mind is made up already. Now you can influence him to make a different decision. Yeah. But you can't change it. You know what I'm saying? So what happens is if you go entertaining the things you can't control, you not only will you be distracted from what your main purpose is, but I mean it's gonna be a long road. So me, I try not to get caught up in other people's minds, what they think and what they think I should be doing and what I should be doing and what I think will make them happy. I just do what feels good to me, right? If it feels good to me, most likely it's gonna be other people that it's gonna feel good for it.
Wow.
Feel good too, yeah.
Well, he said he don't get caught up in it, but we do.
We about to get caught up. We about to get caught up in the comments real quick.
Do you get emotional though when you hear it?
Oh yeah.
Like bad? Why?
Yeah, because that's what.
And I
feel like you knew exactly what I just said.
But it's just their perspective. It's okay for them to feel that way, you know?
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's just their perspective. I mean, we just got to respect each other's perspective. We can't get offended by someone else feeling some kind of way. Yeah. Because you don't know what led them to feel that way. And it got I promise you, got nothing to do with you, though.
Most of the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
He said, I'll do you one better.
All the time. They don't even know you. How's it going to be? Like,
very much.
You know?
That says a lot.
Damn it.
That says a lot right there. Yep. We taking notes. He's dropping gems.
Yes. And now we're going to get caught into these comments with sheesh. Every time I hear your name, that's how I have to pronounce it. Like, sheesh. Is that how it goes?
Yeah.
Come on, alignment.
That's the catchphrase. That's the saying for the fans. You know what I mean? Yeah. Sheesh. Yep.
You'll be definitely saying that when you hear the music.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's a fact.
You guys be sure to follow them. I went digging in your Instagram right here. And
you see your boy already liked it too.
And normally I go in the comments, but today I wanted to go into the caption, and the caption reads, "Everybody eats B."
No, that's a fact.
Why does everybody eat?
Because we family.
Facts.
We family, you know what I mean? So it's like, if and it ain't just because we family, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you got family members who don't do right by you. You know what I mean? But
they get a plate too.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Right. And you still even help them sometimes, but we close-knit. It's our big brother. I'm his big brother. You know what I mean? I can learn something from him. You know what I mean? So, and we got each other back at all times. Period. You know what I mean? So, we all gonna eat together.
What about the outside influences? How do you guys battle those differences and challenges coming from the outside within with decision making?
Well, that's the thing. When the foundation is solid, the outside can never penetrate.
That's a fact.
Because the outside, that's their goal. Because they're on the outside, so what they gonna try to do? Get in.
Yeah.
You know, that's like literally opening the door for every homeless man to knock on your front. Not all of them gonna have great intentions.
Yeah.
Right? And whatever comes with them, because they're there for a reason. That means God is working with them. He's working on them. Right?
Yeah.
So all you could do is pass them a plate. Right?
Yeah.
After that, what else can you do? God is working on them. Ain't nothing you can do about it.
Give them a plate and let them be?
Give them a plate. Okay. Or whatever you think is going to help their situation to make it comfortable while God is working on it. but there's nothing you could do to get them out that situation. They're there for a reason.
Man.
The biggest thing I took from that is just like, loving people from a distance.
Sometimes you got to.
Sometimes you do have to.
1,000%. And just allow people to go on their own course, regardless of how you see it for them.
I just learned that this year.
Yeah.
That's
Really?
Speak to that.
Before then, I always feel like I can make a difference. I can change the person. I just realized I can't. And I'm still trying.
I'm right there in limbo. So I'm taking mental notes because
it's in my spirit to try.
Yeah.
But I've already came to the conclusion that I'm doing this for me to feel better. Because I know no matter what I do for that person, he or she got to want it more than I want it for them.
That part. And Sheesh clearly wants it. Okay.
1,000%.
Can you guys talk? I want to hear from
Ski.
Big Ski.
Right. I was gonna say Big Ski, but he told me Ski earlier. So is it like does it depend on how you feeling, or is it Ski or Big Ski?
I get Ski.
Okay.
But, it's Big Ski.
Okay. It's the big one. Oh my gosh.
Everybody just shorten it up and just call me Ski, but it's gonna always be Big Ski for sure.
Well, with that being said, Big Ski, can you talk to us about your music that's out right now?
Yeah, we got Air Mattress. We're on all streaming platforms. It just dropped like 2 weeks ago.
It's the first volume mixtape.
Yep, first volume mixtape. And we got Ghetto Living single with Akon. We shot that back at our hometown, yeah.
Video dropped yesterday.
Yeah. It's definitely dope. We definitely
It's at 3 million views.
And counting. And counting.
So yeah, we just dropped a mixtape, 12 tracks. Went crazy. It's everything you looking for is in that tape.
Wow.
Yeah.
We got more music on the way too.
Yeah, the album is right around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, so that means you guys are coming back.
Yeah. The mixtape was they dropped the mixtape just to support the single.
Okay.
Because oftentimes when a new artist comes, especially in hip hop, you kind of want to know if they even got bars, if they can actually really rap. That's what they was more focused on. I was like, man, they need to know that we really rap. I said, okay, cool. We just put out a mixtape every other month.
Yep.
There it is. Now they know you're rapping. But me, I'm trying to make y'all niggas rich.
Listen.
The songs on the radio, we need to put y'all niggas on tour. We trying to get sync licenses and all that craziness. So those records, everybody got to be, filled. But at least on the hip hop side, it'll always draw them back down to their roots so they never forget where they came from.
And what he's saying is gonna be on our album. That's where y'all gonna get the fire melodies, the fire, you know what I mean? Creativity, like everything is gonna be.
What y'all hearing on the mixtape is nothing like what the album sounds like.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because the mixtape is hip hop.
Yeah.
That's just niggas grabbing beats and going crazy. Because when I told them to give me a mixtape, I literally was like, all right, cool. We need to put a mixtape out before this, the single go crazy. We want at least the audience be able to research and see what's going on. But we got to get on it right now because the video dropping too. I mean, the video moving too fast. Literally, he didn't get 15 minutes. He done already sent me 12 songs. He didn't even look at it. He just grabbed the first 12 and said, "Here we go. Here, a package."
That's hunger right there.
Yeah, like straight up, all freestyles. You know what I'm saying? So.
How much of a no-brainer was it to collaborate with them?
I didn't even think about it. It was literally a no-brainer.
Literally.
Yeah. I mean, that single is off the chain.
No, thank you, bro. Thank you for real.
Thank you guys.
Thank y'all.
Like,
y'all
really
I'm always sitting so right because I'm like,
for me specifically, I told you a little bit earlier offline, Akon, that it's just been like a full circle moment to start with Romeo, the Katie Morning Show, sitting in, listening to him talk to you, to you now being on the couch with me here. I really appreciate this moment for a few reasons. I know that you guys are big. Y'all could be anywhere in LA, and you guys decided to pull up on the up and coming, paying it forward.
You already there.
Stop
That's why they stop you.
Stop playing with me.
This is the LA way, y'all.
That's how it
That's
works.
period.
You either got it or you don't.
Do I have the Akon? No.
We got it.
Because I missed it and I was in the moment. But I appreciate you. We're going to do our log out. Where can we find you guys?
Go ahead, tell them my sheesh page.
So bro, you can find us on all social medias at SHEESH _ Konvict. So that's Konvict with a K, KONVICT.
It's the culture, y'all. It's the culture.
The culture.
Yeah.
We also got to throw it back to our previous episode with Kelvin Washington.
Whoop, whoop.
I'm used to calling him K-Dub. He's
K-Dub.
with
K-Dub.
Spectrum News Channel 1, so we got to make sure to get you guys on the next time that you're in LA.
that'd be dope.
On Spectrum News. He was here
1000%.
last time. And shout out to Penderella. She hit our DM because we always
That's
ask
right.
everybody to like comment and all that good stuff to stay engaged and to get some swag from our sponsors. And they wanted to know what was going on with Kelvin next. You guys be sure to follow him at KW Live and find that out. I feel like you had a
I was
question.
about to shout out my brother SP. Shout out my brother E White. They produced Air Matches, and shout out to my brother Press Play. You know what I mean?
Yeah, big bro. You see this?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see this?
Listen.
Circle moment.
There's one more shout out that he got to get though.
1,000.
You got to get your cousin, bro.
1,000.
Hey, shout out to our cousin Trail, man. He locked down, man.
Trail,
We gotta get him out. Big Trail
Hey,
real.
Trail, see this?
Hey, yeah, shout out to our cousin Trail, man.
It's
We
only
just
a
on the
matter of
phone.
time.
We love you, boy. And shout out to cousin Mason too, man.
Man, it's all family in here, and I definitely know you guys are gonna go past your ideas because your work ethic speaks to volumes.
Oh yeah, their work ethic is they keeping up with me. So I
I was
already know.
gonna say it's in the camp. I've been in the
If you
studio
keep up
with
with
you.
me,
I know
you'll be here
what
for
it's
a
like.
minute. Yeah.
And yeah, he is very gracious when it comes to making sure everybody eat.
Yeah. No, that's a
1,000%.
You don't even know.
Oh, I do. I do. I've been in,
bro.
bro.
That's an
He
understatement.
said I got to eat.
No,
that was
that's,
real.
Yeah, but like
that's an understatement.
even when we were done, he's like,
That
all
was the
right,
script,
so let me just
Press.
go ahead and section this up for later.
Yeah,
1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. This is dinner though.
Yeah.
We handling this right now.
That's how
I'm
it
just making
is.
sure this is gone so we can get to the real stuff.
That's how he is, bro.
Workaholic and just the hospitality out of this world, man. And
Man.
I think, well, not even think, I know you guys are gonna be great because you guys are in great hands.
Man,
Yeah.
that's love.
Right.
That's
I
love,
feel
bro.
it.
For real.
For sure.
Gratitude.
Congratulations ahead of time.
Thank you.
And we wish you nothing but all the success in the world.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, love.
Absolutely. And this has been Socially Acceptable.
Acceptable.
Yeah.